Okay, this is honestly one of the craziest nights of my entire life. And I swear, every word of it is true. Like, you know how sometimes something happens and you're just like, there's no way this is real. This has gotta be some kind of movie or something. Yeah, that was me that whole night. It all started on a Tuesday evening in March. I remember it was a Tuesday because I'd just gotten home from this absolutely brutal day at work, right? My boss had been on my case about some reports that weren't even due yet, and I was just completely drained. All I wanted to do was throw on my comfy pants, order some Chinese food, and binge watch whatever trashy reality show was going to numb my brain for a few hours. But then my sister called. And let me tell you something about my sister, Lisa. When she calls, it's never just a quick, hey, how are you kind of thing. She always needs something. Don't get me wrong, I love her to death. But the woman has this way of making everything sound like the world's ending. You know what I mean? Hey, can you watch Sophie tonight? She asks, not even saying hi first. Dave and I got this work dinner thing we totally forgot about. And our usual babysitter's sick with the flu or something. Now, Sophie, that's my niece. She just turned 13 like 2 months before this. Sweet kid, kinda quiet. Always got her nose in a book or doodling in those journals she carries everywhere. Not the type to cause trouble or anything. So I figured, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, my plans were basically just gonna be me and General Tso's chicken anyway. Yeah, no problem, I told Lisa. What time you dropping her off? We're actually already on our way. We'll be there in like 20 minutes. Is that okay? See what I mean? That's so Lisa. Just assumes it's all good and she's already in the car. But whatever. I said yes, so I quickly tidied up the living room a bit, threw some dishes in the sink, kicked some shoes into the closet. You know, the usual fake cleaning you do when someone's coming over. They showed up right on time. And Sophie came dragging in with this huge backpack that looked way too heavy for just spending one night at her aunt's place. I remember thinking that was kinda weird, but teenagers, man, they pack like they're going on a month-long expedition, even if they're just staying overnight somewhere. Thanks so much for doing this, Lisa said, already halfway out the door. She was wearing this fancy black dress and heels, and Dave was in a suit. So I guess this work dinner was pretty important. There's leftover pasta in her bag if she gets hungry, but she already ate dinner. Bedtime's at 10, and we should be back by midnight at the latest. Got it. We'll be fine, I said, waving them off. Have fun at your boring work thing. Sophie was just standing there in my living room, holding on to her backpack straps with both hands, and she had this look on her face that I couldn't quite read. Like she was nervous or something. But I figured maybe she was just tired from school, or whatever. So, I said, plopping down on the couch. You hungry? I was gonna order Chinese. You want some lo mein or something? She shook her head. No thanks, Auntie. I'm good. You sure? 'Cause I'm getting spring rolls either way, and you know I always order too much. She gave me this tiny smile, the kind that doesn't really reach your eyes, you know? And said, maybe later. All right, cool. Want to watch something? There's this new show everyone's been talking about. Well, we could just throw on some movies or whatever you want. Actually, she said, and her voice got all quiet. Can I just go to the guest room for a bit? I have some homework I need to finish. Now that should have been my first clue that something was up. 'Cause since when does a 13-year-old voluntarily do homework on a Tuesday night when they could be watching TV? But I was still thinking about my day and how tired I was. So I just said, yeah, sure, go ahead. Guest room's all yours. Let me know if you need anything. She disappeared down the hallway with that massive backpack, and I heard the door close. I ordered my Chinese food, put on some random show, and honestly just zoned out for a while. The food came, I ate way too many spring rolls, and I was just getting into this documentary about some crazy heist when I realized it was already 9:30 and I hadn't heard a peep from Sophie. I figured I should probably check on her, make sure she wasn't staying up all night, doing homework or on her phone or whatever. So I walked down the hallway and knocked on the guest room door. Sophie? You doing okay in there? Nothing. No answer. I knocked again. Soph? You fall asleep already? Still nothing. Okay, so now I'm getting a little concerned, right? I slowly opened the door, and the room was dark, except for this little lamp on the nightstand. And there she was, sitting on the edge of the bed, still fully dressed, and she had this notebook open in her lap. When she looked up at me, I swear to God, her eyes were all red like she'd been crying. Hey, whoa, I said, coming into the room and sitting down next to her. What's going on? You okay? She quickly wiped her eyes with her sleeve and closed the notebook. I'm fine, Auntie. Just tired. Sophie, come on. I know what fine looks like, and this ain't it. Talk to me. What's wrong? She was quiet for a long time, just staring down at her hands, and I could see her fingers were shaking a little bit. My heart was starting to do that thing where it beats faster, 'cause you know something's really wrong, but you don't know what yet. And then she looked at me with these big, scared eyes and whispered, Auntie, please don't tell Mom. I'm running away tonight. I swear, time just stopped for a second. Like my brain literally could not process what she'd just said. Running away? Sophie? My quiet, bookworm niece, who still collected stuffed animals and watched Disney movies. Wait, what? I said, 'cause I genuinely thought maybe I'd heard her wrong. Did you just say you're running away? She nodded, and fresh tears started rolling down her cheeks. I have to. I can't stay there anymore. Okay, so now I'm in full panic mode, right? But I'm trying to keep it together, 'cause the last thing she needs is me freaking out. I took a deep breath and said as calmly as I could, Sophie, honey, you need to tell me what's going on. Why do you feel like you have to run away? Did something happen? Did someone hurt you? No, nothing like that, she said quickly, shaking her head. It's just, everything's wrong, and I don't know how to fix it, and I feel like I'm suffocating all the time. She started crying harder, and I just pulled her into a hug and let her sob into my shoulder. My mind was racing, trying to figure out what could be so bad that this kid, this smart, sweet kid, would think running away was her only option.